Guys, we are finally here with the fourth and final video of the AI Foundation series, the AI Foundations course. And today we're going to be learning about something very interesting, which really is your future way of working. And that's what I call the Human AI Human Refinement loop. It will all make sense once I go ahead, but just be known this will revolutionize how you essentially approach work in general, right? Now, when it comes to this, what actually is the Human AI Human Refinement loop? It's quite a wordful, but I promise you it's very kind of simple. It's a way to work, right? It's a working pattern where humans and AI collaborate so extensively to complete tasks faster, better, and more effectively, right? We're using the power of AI, everything that we've seen in this and previous videos, combining with our human intelligence and putting this together, right, to really amplify how fast we do everything, right? The aim of this video is to introduce this way of working, right? Introduce this Human AI Human Refinement loop. So you start to adopt it yourself consciously, and it becomes just completely unconscious to you, right? So to understand the impact of this, firstly, I think it's very important to understand how we actually got here, right? So let's think about our smartphones, right? Think about now life before smartphones. Very hard, right? Very, very hard. When we just even think of trying to remember a contact at this stage, it's very hard. Oh, what's their number? I have no idea. I'm so reliant on my smartphone. Phones now have become true extensions of our brain, storing every kind of information from contact details to birthdays. It's just various actual important information as well, right? Helping us communicate as well as giving us access through the internet to the connected world around us, right? We can speak to stores, we can speak to different organizations all through our phone now. If we break this down even further, when we think about smartphones in general, what they've basically done is they've simplified many tasks, right? And that goes all the way from the bare bones of even speaking to people, right? Using the power of phones, we can now instantly text someone, call someone, at the stage even video chat with them, right? Even 20 years ago, this wasn't possible. We had to kind of get the top-up cards to speak internationally. Now, simply WhatsApp, you speak to your friend and that's it, right? He may be in USA, you may be in UK. It's all the same. GPS. I remember back in the day sitting with my dad in the passenger seat with a massive map, right? That's now completely gone. GPS came in and replaced physical maps completely, right? Of now, you can travel any country, most countries in the world, with just Google Maps open, and it shows you the way everywhere you go, right? Research. Google itself replaced hours in the library. Think about a normal search query that you wanted to do, right? You would previously go ahead and try find the various texts in the books for it. Google came in and straight away, you now just search on Google, it gives you a list of what's possible. That's taken to a next level now with ChatGPT, as we saw in the previous video. Of now, you simply ask ChatGPT, it will do all the research and the actual condensation of that research for you, right? It will condense the actual summary of what you want. Banking is a great example of apps itself have replaced trips to the bank, but apps in general have replaced a lot of kind of physical stores we used to go to, right? Everything is now accessible through your phone, right? And finally, shopping, where Amazon is the biggest store in the world. And most of the shopping that we do has become online. There's with all of these elements, yes, the physical still exists, but think about how a lot of this now has been essentially migrated to a complete technology layer by the actual smartphone, right? Now, when we think about our reliability on our smartphones, what's ended up happening is humans have turned into what I call modern day cyborgs, right? We've integrated smartphones into our life so seamlessly, especially with the rise of the iPhone, that in our daily lives at this point, we rely on them for almost everything. Think about the time where it's like, I don't have my phone. Oh, I don't know what to do, right? That's very common. We're at the stage where that we have to walk out of the house with a phone because that's our access to everything, right? Whether it's a store, whether it's our friends, whether it's our parents, it's our contact to the world and how to kind of reconnect with everyone. But phones did simplify tasks. However, one of the things, if you observe, they were quite routine, low complexity tasks, storing contacts, right? We can either do that in like a journal as well, right? And kind of just storing information itself. That's the majority of what mainly the phone does. But when it came to kind of deeper problem solving, creativity or analysis, mainly within the kind of fields as follows: text generation, summarization, translation, question answering, and all of the ones you see on the screen, phones didn't address or only partly address. Like Google Translate still works on the phone as well. But these kind of highly cognitive tasks, right, of kind of taking it to a next level, generating whole reports and essays and stuff like that for us, even code. Phones couldn't do that until now, right? Where that's exactly where AI will come in and fill that gap for us. So what that means is AI will expand on what smartphones essentially started by tackling the advanced tasks that require higher mental cognition. So anything that is creative based but needs heavy text or image generation, AI comes in to fill the gap. Anything analysis needed, so if you need to summarize, go through massive amounts of text, you simply give it to AI, it will do it for you. The same thing for sentiment analysis, right? The tone of the actual text. Problem solving, we're at the stage where even code itself now, it's going to become a thing where the AI can do the majority of it for you. You simply go in and kind of tweak it towards the end, right? Code generation and flowchart creation, that's possible as well. AI is going to complement humans' abilities by automating now these more cognitively complex tasks, what we couldn't previously do using technology 10, 20 years ago. Now, the Human AI Human Refinement loop in depth is as follows. Humans are going to get the task, right? And when I say this, either you identify what needs to be done, what you want to do, or you're given a task to complete. And I think of it in all contexts, even within your kind of job role itself, right? The minute that happens, the first thing you have to do is you give it to AI. AI provides the initial solution, saving time on the groundwork. You're going to give AI to generate that first draft for you. Then your job simply becomes, as a human, you refine the output. You assess AI's results, you evaluate it. Does it make sense? Is it complete? Or do I need to refine it more? And when you say refine it more, you simply redefine the task and kind of keep prompting in the right way to make sure you get the exact output that you want. And that cycle continues until that task is polished and you firm it as complete. You determine it as complete, right? So, very kind of easy within diagram format. You define the task. Any task that you may get or you may do, you define this task. The first thing, your first instance should be you prompt the LLM. This is the Human AI Human Refinement loop in depth. The minute you prompt the LLM, it will generate the output for you. Your job then becomes to refine that output. And this cycle continues right until the point where you're satisfied with the exact output, at which point the task is complete, right? The loop becomes an ongoing partnership, partnership between human creativity and AI efficiency, right? Let's actually see this in action. Let's bring it to life, right? So I'm explaining this concept. How does this actually work? And you'll see how easy it is. So say, for example, I have a task. I've been asked to reach out to a client to request their feedback on a draft project proposal. Okay? Let's have a look at the Human AI Human Refinement loop in action. So what I'm going to do is actually go into ChatGPT by flicking to the right. And within here, right, what's the actual goal right now? I need to reach out to a client to request their feedback on a draft project proposal. Now, previously, I would have to go ahead and kind of create this email myself and think about, okay, what do I need to say to the client? What's probably the best thing to do? The actual context of what's going on. And all of this may kind of even be 3 to 4 paragraphs, right? Now I can simply go ahead. Now, the minute the task is defined, the first thing I do is prompt the LLM, right? So I'll simply go ahead and say to we'll call it ChatGPT, write a professional email to a client requesting feedback on a draft project proposal, including context, key feedback areas, and a clear deadline, and a polite closing. Make sure you give me placeholders I can fill out. So that's it. I went ahead and I actually gave the actual AI exactly the task I needed to do. Now it's going to generate the output for me, right? So it goes ahead, gives me the exact kind of probably likely subject, request for feedback on draft project proposal with the project name. That's cool. Giving me the placeholders as I've asked it. I hope this email finds you well. We're pleased to share the draft version of the project. Here's the following. The draft proposal is attached for your reference, XYZ, right? So clearly, I've got now the output. It's my now job to refine that output. So I like the email. It's great. What I need to do now is repeat this cycle. And that's if I want to. So right now, this email, for some of you, you may say that's a great email. What if I say, great, please make the email a bit shorter, right? Then AI does that once again. We're at the stage where we've redefined exactly what's going on with the context. We've prompted the LLM, and we're going to now wait for it to generate the output. So within here now, it goes ahead, and straight away, we can see now the actual output is a lot smaller than what was given earlier. And just like that, with the power of AI, now I'm at the stage where I actually like it. It's cool. And now I can simply go ahead, and when it comes to my email, I can simply go ahead and kind of use this and fill in the various pieces which I need to add that human intelligence piece in, right? The context piece. But do you see now to write this email? It was so much more easier and faster, right? Using the power of the human AI human refinement loop. And that's really all it is, right? Of what it's going to essentially do is now think of the application and use cases where I showcase an email. Think of this now, how this applies to essays, reports, presentation slides, codes, summaries, right? All of this, the applications are multiple. Plus, think of how faster actually now takes you to do it, right? AI is doing the hard work for you. And that's exactly why it works, right? We're delegating the routine complex work to AI, right? AI handles the task of execution, right? The boring task AI does. So we as humans then focus on one thing, reviewing and refining. So the overall more strategic and creative piece, right? You saw the speed, right? The speed it boosts speed like anything. It cuts the time on the ground and revisions. Think of how hard it would have been to generate that email completely by ourselves, right? It would take at least 20 minutes. We did it in under 5. Quality. AI's precision with human expertise for polished outputs, right? The actual email we got is actually of very high quality. If you look at it, right? Very professional because we asked it for a professional email. If we simply go and ask it for a much less formal email, it can do that as well. And that's the power of AI. We're using AI's precision with human expertise for polished outputs. And once again, it applies across multiple fields. So I give you a small example for an email. Now think of it for your writing, for your coding, for anything customer service related, design, and more. So applies across various industries. All of this results in one thing, right? Pure maximization of productivity, right? That's the power that AI brings to us. So the robots, AI, it's going to do the work for you. You simply refine and confirm when the task is complete, right? That's all we do now as humans. On that point now, though, AI does not eliminate the need for human expertise, right? Because of one key reason. AI is only as good as its input. Skilled humans are essential to guide it, and this is very key in the whole realm of AI. If you feed AI garbage, it will feed you garbage out. And that's exactly why the skills that now matter are the following 3. Crafting effective prompts, right? You saw, for example, when I first gave the prompt, it was quite detailed, but I didn't mention I want it to be shorter. So AI gave me a different output. Crafting effective prompts is going to be the most important key skill in the next few years. Secondly, evaluating AI's outputs. That's us as humans. We're doing that job. We're refining it, right? And using this refinement, how to customize the responses to get exactly what we want, right? You saw, for example, I went ahead, I got kind of the very kind of intense professional email. I refined it and said, all right, I need it to be a bit more shorter, right? I can even take this one step further and say, make this less formal as the client is actually my childhood friend, right? And let's see how AI feeds back to that. Here's a more casual and friendly tone. Hey, friend's name, hope you're doing well. This is exactly how you talk to a friend. Like, you don't talk to a friend in a very professional manner. And just like that, you see the power of AI. That's going to become a very key skill as well regarding the context of what you want to achieve. Humans must use AI. And this is the key now. Must use. There's going to be 2 types of people now. People that use AI and accomplish tasks a lot more faster, and people that don't. That still kind of stick to the old way of doing stuff. And eventually, that's where AI is going to come in and replace elements of their job mainly. Humans must use AI to amplify their abilities, not replace them. Now, the future of work with AI, right? AI is not replacing humans, as you saw. It's enhancing them. And what this means is the human AI refinement loop will redefine productivity as we know it. Why? Because as humans now, we focus on one key thing, the creativity the strategy, but more importantly now, the task completion. We verify, is the actual task complete? And we refine it until we do so, right? We're automating, AI is automating the repetitive and more complexly cognitive tasks for us, so we can kind of add that human intelligence piece as well, using the refinement, and achieve better results in literally, not less, more than less, half the time, literally fraction of the time. And that's the kind of importance of the human AI human refinement loop. You define a task, you prompt the LLM straight away. That's your first call. You think of it, the minute you get a task, how do I prompt the LLM to generate the output for me? LLM will generate the output, you simply refine. You simply refine. And that's the model itself. Now, just a quick recap what we just learned today, right? What is the human AI human refinement loop, right? It's a working pattern. But more importantly, how do we actually get here, right? Smartphones to AI. Smartphones changed the game by automating a lot of kind of smaller, routine, complex tasks. AI has taken that to a whole nother level now. And that human AI refinement loop, all it simply means is now humans and AI work in partnership, true collaborative partnership, where anything that you get, your first point of action is speak to AI, get the output, refine. And it becomes unconscious the more and more you apply this, right? It works why? You saw with just an email example, it was able to write an email in less than 5 minutes. We got 3 different draft versions in different tones that we wanted using the power of simply prompting. And this now applies for various stuff, reports, use cases, essays, code, everything, right? But then more importantly, we're also showcasing that the fact that AI, it's automating the complex cognitive tasks. It's not replacing humans entirely. We still need to make sure the output is refined. Why? Because we are the ones that ultimately send the email out, right? And that's the future of work with AI. Of it's going to make yourself so much more productive, and that's the power of learning about it itself. And that's exactly why this series was made. So with that being said, guys, this is the 4th and final video of the AI Foundation series. Any other upcoming series I'm going to have is going to be a bit more technical, but this was to really kind of give you the underlying underpinnings of AI from a more end user context, right? For those of you that enjoyed this, found this series very valuable, found this video valuable, please do like, share this to someone who also wants to learn about AI. Subscribe to the channel as well, leave a comment. And for those of you that want to connect with me on LinkedIn, please do give me a ping, and I'm here to help in every way, shape, or form. Right? Guys, it's been fantastic. Thank you for video number 4 of the AI Foundation series, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you.